who are working today preparing for the season with Justin Fields as their quarterback. Fields spoke to the media today in Florham Park. Here's some of what he had to say.
It's been good for sure. Kind of had a feeling when I got here, guys were looking for, a leader to step up on offense. So, I was glad to, receive that role and, of course, been, pushing the guys each and every day to be our best and play up to our standard. Reese is a ball player for sure. Of course, everybody knows he can run, but what kind of surprised me is his natural hands when I first, started throwing with him. I mean, he has natural hands, kind of like a receiver, and he's really just all around back. So, definitely glad to have him on my team for sure.
Fields talking about running back Breece Hall, one of a lot of options he'll have in the passing game with the Jets. Lewis, what are your expectations for Fields in this Jets offense this year?
They got to own the line of scrimmage, Dan. I mean, that's what this offense has got to be. Look, when you have an offensive line that's got 3 former first-round picks on it, okay? And then a number 2 pick at center, a second-round pick and Joe Tippmann at center. And they got Fashanu and they got Armand Membu, Elijah Vera Tucker, John Simpson. I mean, they got studs up front. This football team has got to be better than like 31st in run block win rate, 31st in rush yards per game, like 24th in average yards per carry, before first contact. Especially when you got Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and now you've got Justin Fields. That has got to be their identity. This has got to be one of the best rushing teams in the NFL. This has got to be a team that kind of mirrors sort of how Baltimore tries to attack you. We can gash you with Derek, we can gash you with Lamar, and then we can throw the football down the field, and that's on Justin and Garrett Wilson and the rest of the crew. But they have to make huge strides. Otherwise, I mean, all those first-round picks on the offensive line, those big physical backs that they got in the backfield, what the hell did you draft them for? Obviously, you made some huge mistakes if you can't do that and make tremendous strides and be a top-half rushing team this year. And if they don't, they're going nowhere.
Yeah, Lou, I completely agree with you on that. Everything has to stop and start with the run game. They got to be physical at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to allow, I think, Justin Fields to do what he does best, which is now you're going to shrink the field a little bit. You're going to make some voids in the secondary. The linebackers are going to have to come up. The safeties are going to drop back. And so you will be able to play action pass and throw the football down the field. And I think that will allow Justin Fields to be at his best. We all know he has struggled throwing the football in the drop back passing game. So what do? You're going to lean on the play action passing game and allow him to see the field clear. You're going to create more voids, but everything has got to stop and start, RC, with the run game. And if they can't do that, then it's really not going to matter what the quarterback can do from the pocket in his position.
100%. And, you bring over Tanner Inkstrand from Detroit, and he was in a place where the run game, where you had Jahmyr Gibbs and you had David Montgomery. Now you move over to Hall and Allen. And there's a different element when you have a Justin Fields. And we saw that in Chicago. We saw that in Pittsburgh, being able to add his legs to the run game, the threat of the quarterback run. But I think the word that scares you most about the Jets is potential. Justin Fields has the potential to be. Breece Hall has the potential to be. They need to see these guys play to the top of their potential, and they have to see it early. If you're looking at who you want the Jets to be offensively, we know that they have Garrett Wilson. I believe Mason Taylor comes right in and makes an impact at the tight end position. But this is going to start with physicality in the run game and move to the play action game, which we saw taking deep shots early last year from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields was extremely accurate and sometimes effective. He has to increase that this year if this team is to make any moves or any ascension when we're talking about the way that they play on the offensive side of the ball.
When they do throw it, of course, RC, you mentioned the number 1 receiver is Garrett Wilson, who was Justin Fields' teammate at Ohio State. Lewis, how big a deal do you think that is, reuniting the quarterback and the wide receiver that played together in college?
Dan, it's huge. It's everything. Look, I can just tell you firsthand, having talked to this team in the offseason, obviously, that this was a major point of emphasis, was how can they get Garrett Wilson to feel good about being a New York Jet and how they can get him back to his potential, because obviously things didn't end well in New York last year as far as his chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. And one of the quickest ways you can get that done, and I had talked to them about this, is, hey, look, how about reuniting him with this guy? How about getting Justin Fields in there and seeing if those two can kind of kind of recreate some of the magic that they had in college. I mean, that's just a natural connection. And Garrett, we know, look, Garrett is like a modern day Lynn Swann. That's what he is. This is a guy who plays above the rim like a ballerina. He's one of the most gifted wide receivers in the league. And so I think that connection right there, that's got to be priority number one in the passing game. And they've got to link up, man. They got to link up big time.
If there's things that I like, that I'd like to see in the offense, Arthur, I'm sure, is going to put it in. But my job is to get us in the right play.
As your roster evolves, I mean, obviously we didn't bring Aaron in here and sign DK for all that money to go run the wishbone. So, you know, you try to play to the strengths of your team.
How quickly he releases the ball and me getting off the line of scrimmage fast, I think is one thing that stands out first. But just how cerebral he is and how he views the game. I mean, I like the way he views the game, you know, from a receiver standpoint, but also from a quarterback standpoint. I think I can gain a lot of knowledge just from being around him because he's seen a lot of football. So just trying to soak up as much information in the ball as I can.
Booger, what do you make of this fit, Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers in this offense?
Hey, first of all, we can throw that graphic away that we had up there, because if you think for one moment that Aaron Rodgers is not an upgrade over Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, then you got another thing coming. He's going to be a dramatic upgrade, guys. It's not even funny. Just from the standpoint of confidence and continuity from an offensive standpoint of what you can do in the passing game. And I get it. I don't expect this team to go to the Super Bowl. He's a 41-year-old quarterback with limited athletic ability, but his ability to understand and throw the football down the field and hopefully unlock DK Metcalf. They didn't go out and spend $30 million a year on him just to hand the football off 45 times a game. Yeah, they're going to run the football. That's what Arthur Smith likes to do. But they also are going to push the football down the field. And in order to do that, you need a competent quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers gives them competency and confidence from an offensive side of the football. I don't care what that graphic said about QBR 51 to 48. I could care less. He is an upgrade over what they had last year.
Yeah. Look, he'll be better in 2025. He'll be better. He's healthier. You can see it in some of the video clips already booked from the mini camps. You see him moving around better.
Yeah.
All right, is he going to be Aaron Rodgers of 10 years ago? Of course not. No one's expecting that. But I think DK hit on a couple of things. One, his football knowledge. Two, how quickly he can play the game because he's seen it all. Three, how he can help other people play the game faster and more efficient, provided that they have enough time to get on the same page. Arthur is able to make the connection with him, that being Arthur Smith, the OC, make the connection with him that is sustainable all year long. And then this offensive line can get better and everything can stay, you know, together. And that it's not a football team that's dealing with injuries, dealing with people in and out of the lineup. He is an upgrade. He will be better. You can see what the vision is. You can see what Mike Tomlin wants to build. And if you look at Arthur's history as far as a play caller and what he ideally likes to do, it fits where Aaron is at this point in his career. I said early on, they need each other. The team needs him. He needs this kind of team. Let's just see if it works now.
Well, we'll see.